YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth, appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Oh boy, here we go, you guys. Slowly but surely, the tides have started to change in the music industry. More specifically, about how people feel about Diddy. Now, before Diddy was found not guilty for the RICO charge, and also before the trial begun, a lot of people did not have faith that Diddy was going to get off. People said he was done. People assumed he was going to get at least 20 plus years in prison, which would make sense considering all the evidence the feds had against him. And he was also going up against the feds and their insanely high conviction rate. But earlier this week, after Diddy was only found guilty on prostitution charges, and he was actually acquitted on the most serious charges, which is the RICO charge, people have now started to shift the blame to Cassie. Just a couple of days ago, one of the prostitutes that Diddy and Cassie used to hire is actually suing Cassie. Here's what he said.
So good morning. I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth, that Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who would choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on the course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life. She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women, all different women all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. I was trapped in a situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now, today on the Joe Budden Podcast, episode 840, please make sure you guys go check it out on Spotify or Apple Music. Joe and the guys who previously condemned Diddy and his actions now feel like this was all a witch hunt by the feds.
Even with your...
Even what I said, yo, after they broke up.
Yes.
After they left. So while you're there, cool, you might be doing whatever you got to do, right? Because you are, again, under constant threat of
physical harm
or emotional harm or financial harm. You got away from this situation, and now we have you on text saying, yo, let's get together. So I think in that, just in itself, it's hard for somebody to now look at you like a victim.
And it wasn't just Cassie with that point, right? Like everybody that they called to the stand to say, hey, he's abusive, or I witnessed this, or I was around for this. They fired right back, the defense, with, did you work for him again? Did you call him again? Did you reach out again? Were you paid by him again? Like, so it wasn't just Cassie, it was everybody that they brought up there to tell the story. There was another story.
So now, and to the average juror, if it comes down to this, if he's this bad, why you keep trying to be around him?
You're not a victim, you're a volunteer.
That's it.
Now
why you keep coming back if he's this bad? So now I don't believe that he's this bad.
And again, listen, it's that. Again, they showed the jury these sex tapes, like we said. Niggas got eyes, like
especially if they saying, yo, when we watched it, here ain't that bad. So you told us about freak offs forever. We finally see one. It wasn't that bad.
Or we see one where you are voluntarily like, no, smack that thing.
Well, that's
choke
what I'm saying.
me, do this, do that. It's like, yo, dog, were you really being...
Like, I'm not going to say that people need a better understanding of coercion just because the jury found what they found. I think they saw enough to say or conclude the way...
Y'all wasn't coerced.
Yeah, like that part, that part I don't think is that deep. I don't know why the feds would try to... Seem like they loaded up on charges that they just wasn't able to prove.
Yeah, they overshot for sure.
And I think that they did that in hopes that he would plea out.
Absolutely.
Yo, we're going to stack the deck right here. We're going to give you 59 charges. We know 47 of them is bullshit, but we trying to scare your dumb ass into taking 7 years.
Yeah, but see, now I'm mad at how y'all showed up to my home.
That's all part of the play.
I'm mad about how y'all treated my children.
Bro, we started off saying this is all theater.
Yeah. No, it was theater, but some of us, me being one of them, thought that, hey, the feds have a 90% yada, 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 and if they're showing up this way,
it's for a reason.
They look like they know what they're looking for.
The feds don't come unless they got you. That's the normal.
They're being rather aggressive, so I mean, it wasn't just
security.
Yeah, it wasn't just psychological for Puff. It was psychological for the viewing audience as well.
Which is all part of the play.
Which they'll seize your assets, so you can't fight them effectively.
Yeah.
Dog, y'all pulled me away from the streets, my family, my businesses.
We're going to break you psychologically by having you sit in MDC.
Y'all drained me of my money. I sat there for a year. Like, I would be livid.
We just saw this with the Thug case, where his lawyer was like, I can beat them.
Same lawyer.
But we had, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, we saw Thug say, yo, I'm going to take the plea because at this point, I just want to go home now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They stacked the deck against you. Exactly. So they stacked the deck against you just to say, yo, take this plea. They knew they ain't having one no RICO.
Can he sue? Can he sue somebody?
Who he gonna sue?
How?
I don't fucking know.
You got found guilty.
And I'm about to say you wasn't acquitted on everything.
You got found guilty.
You maybe could sue somebody. I'm not sure who, but it seems like you can civilly. I think you
Even
can.
what they found me guilty of.
Who are you gonna sue civilly?
The feds look.
I don't know.
The feds look stupid saying we got you on prostitution. You know how stupid the feds look?
Now, you can either call this a backpedal by Joe and the guys, or you can simply just call it having more information. You guys have all seen the reactions from a lot of people in music and a lot of people in hip-hop. They all feel the same way. Diddy was just being extra freaky, and that should not be a crime. Now, we cannot forget or neglect the video of Diddy beating up Cassie in the hotel. This is where people have to be careful if they want to align back with Diddy. That video is still out there. A lot of companies have seen that video. If you have something to lose, please keep in mind that that video exists and people will call you out for trying to align yourself with an abuser. So that's why it's going to be very interesting seeing how Diddy moves once he gets out of jail. But so far, Diddy has now started to gain a little bit of support from certain people in the industry. And also, ironically, thanks to this case, people are now looking at Cassie and shifting blame to her. You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys think it's fair that Cassie is now getting some of the blame? Post your comments below, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.